Did you know that when you take your own life, that those who have to live through the loss, those who have to live through the pain, begin a silent count, a clock that keeps track unlike any other. Seconds turn to minutes, minutes turns to hours, hours turns into days, and days, well, days become hard. Days become frustrating and confusing, and days are not always worth smiling for because we're longing for that laugh. We're looking for that smile. We're hoping that you make the phone call or walk through the door, and we know that that day will never come. I want you to take in what it's like to survive your loss, because I know that every day for you is not the easiest. I know that every day for you is not always roses and peachy. I understand that things cannot be perfect, but we need you. We want you. We love you. We ask that you fight, that you give yourself a chance. You can do that today by hitting 3 small numbers, 988. If you're thinking of harming yourself or harming somebody else, don't do it. The lasting effects don't just travel through you, it spreads like a wildfire, a pandemic of sorts, a virus unlike anything you've ever seen. When you take your life, you not only take the life of you take the life of those who love you, those who care about you, those who long to see you and hear you. So before you do something that you can't live with, do something that you can live with and dial 988 and get help. Just reach out and ask somebody for help. Connect with BetterHelp, a place that I personally use and can guarantee by it that it's worth it. It's worth every bit. You can swap therapists out as many times as you need to get the right person to help you for one flat rate. All in one place, over 20,000 different people. I get no paid benefits or anything from this. I simply just want you to get help. And if for some reason you need somebody to go through the process with you, or you just need somebody that's willing to be there in the fight with you, then reach out to me or any of my social media feeds with a simple message of "we need to talk." And I will make myself available to you by any means necessary. So before you make a decision that we can't live with, make one you can. And let's talk football. What's going on, Pride Nation? What's back, man? Listen, I'm feeling good today. I was so ticked off that I couldn't get on yesterday. My spirit was in flames. And I got to be honest with y'all. If y'all got some good career choices that has an excellent work-life balance, please drop it in the chat so a brother can reevaluate some life decisions. I am open to just about anything minus a mortician. I ain't got it in me, all right? But listen, people, it's a lot to be covered. It's a lot to talk about. I'm going to have some fun with it, try to get through everything quickly, swiftly, and then, give you opportunity to jump in and have your piece, all right? I already see they breaking the smoke already. Let's see who's in the building with me right now. All right, let's go down here this list. We got my man Jon Kapler in the building, Looney Tunes in the building, Midwest Lion who says, "What's going on, Luke, and the whole Pride Nation? What up, though?" Friendly neighborhood Lions fan, waiting on him to get back on. Come through and talk to the people. We got my man Hatter House 710 on the building. Dan Spanos in the building. This is a new one. I've never seen this one. Wardoff Lion, let's go. Can't wait for episode number 3. Hey, we got to talk about Hard Knocks. There's some things I'm expecting to see in that too, because that is coming on tonight. So that's why I'm trying to make this quick and swift. Dr. Detroit's in the building. Craig Bevins in the building. James Holyfield is in the building. I see Dan getting started early. Don't be dissing Tom Kennedy today, Luke. He's the catch up to your hot dog. See, that's the problem. That might be the problem. We got my man Crum in the building. Giovanni Lyon II in the building. Dr. Detroit is in the building. Make sure if you're in the building, put it something in the chat so I can count you out now. Down 19 is in the building. And Makai Hope. Let's get right into this right off the gate, man. Here's my thoughts about what I saw in the Colts game. And I know it's led to a lot of speculation. It says, I listen to you all the time. I just can't catch you live. I'm working on getting a more solid schedule. That's why I told the people, if y'all can think of a career that gives you work-life balance, please tell me. I'm even willing to go back to school. I'm at that point. I really am. I'm tired. Okay. I want something that's going to just give me more time to me. You know what I mean? All right, people. Here's my thoughts on the Colts game. I was very intrigued. I'm not going to say impressed. I'll say intrigued. I was intrigued because the one thing that stood out to me was our ability to run that ball. I was so in love with our ability to run that ball. It was something that I think we need more of. I want people to know that when you play us, we going to run that thing and you better be prepared to stop it. And what had me feeling good about it was the fact that the defense fed off of that. And my man's Austin Bryant was like a maniac out there. And I know that a lot of times you're going against backups. I get it. But the problem was when you're just better than these people, you should show it on every level. And in my opinion, he showed it that those people that he's out there playing with wasn't on his level. So to him, kudos. I know there's a lot of love and praise for my man Malcolm Rodriguez, and it sparred a whole entire where he's going to be the de facto starter. I can guarantee he's going to be a day one starter. And I said, well, I'm going to address that because I think there's some things that's going on. Now, again, the game in itself had me intrigued. I did not care who started the game, although I thought that David Blau looked good, and that one interception was not his damn fault. It hit the receiver's hands and popped up. He's got to catch that. So I don't count David Blau for that interception. I just don't. Tim Boyle looked it pretty sharp, but that was like third string players. And so I don't know if that was enough for me to be like, yay, keep him. I don't know if I'm buying that one to be exact, right? But, you know, the people 174 yards of rushing is huge in any game. A 5.3 yard average as a whole rushing is huge in any game. And there were some names that I just thought showed up and showed out. Like I said, I named a few of them. And there were some names that I didn't care about. I don't care about Maurice Alexander. He's not. I don't know how he makes this team. Khalil Pimpleton, he's probably done. But could they somehow, some way keep keep Kennedy? I don't think he makes the team. I just don't. And he does this every preseason. He does great, and then they put him on practice squad. And I don't think he makes the team. And so for me, I was looking to see who wanted it, who was giving it they all. And I was so shocked at all the people giving it they all. Now, that's the good. Here's the bad. Our safeties are still making too many damn tackles. Kirby Joseph had 6 total tackles. Now, mind you, he tied that with John Kominski, who really stood out, got a sack, got tackles for a loss. He balled out. I was impressed with him. I said, okay, he's definitely going, he's definitely trying to take a spot. I thought Demetrius Taylor, RIP to Demetrius Thomas, but Demetrius Taylor, I thought he had a good outing. But to me, Carl Joseph is making too many damn tackles. I'm just sick of it. I'm sick of our safeties. It's the second game where it's just too many damn tackles for our safeties. And I'm not with it. I'm not with it. Okay. They gave up 275 total receiving yards. 275 receiving yards. And so to many of y'all may be like, well, that's not great. There's nothing special. I get it. I feel you. But I don't, because for me, in a game where you shut they run completely the fuck down, I would like to see you not give up big plays like they were doing. I would like to see our safeties not having to give up so many things. Right? What I say, Carl? What I say, Carl? How you put out this damn dude name? Hold on. I'm going to look it up. How you put out this damn dude name? Y'all out here, y'all know I can't goddamn pronounce a name for to save my life. Let me see how they pronounce Kirby. I'm sorry. Kirby. Carl Joseph is the other guy that played. Jesus, I got to get my brain together. Kirby. Whew. Shout out to you, Anthony. What up, though? What's going on? So it says our system is run stuff and safeties. Left not loud. That brings me to my next point, though. And my point of the possibility of Rodrigo being a starter. This idea disgusts me, because if Rodrigo is your starter, we got a problem. That room cannot be that damn weak. It cannot be that damn weak. And don't tell me, oh, he played his way into it, because if you put him on any other team, it's nothing he's doing to play his way into that starting lineup like that. So let's be honest about it. We have a problem that needed to be addressed 2 years ago. How long Okuda been here? 3 years? Whatever that time was when you had Okuda, you had an opportunity to address it then. You had an opportunity to address it after that. And I'm sitting here with the same damn problems, and it's frustrating. And it's frustrating because I'm trying to understand, how are we still having the same problem? And I don't want to hear we'll draft one next year. I don't care. Next year you won't have the tie for the third to fourth easiest schedule. You won't have that. Next year you won't have 9 home games where you're not going to have where your travel time is one of the lowest. You're not going to have that next year. And we don't have the people to do the things that we need. This is why they can do these things. Now, was I happy to see them stop the run? Yes. Was I happy to see the performance of the linebackers that were out there and what they did? Yes. But I still seen too many times where I'm like, bad angle. Wrong gap. Overran. And it's frustrating. There's no way that this man should be in the starting lineup. Now, make no mistake about it. One of my biggest gripes with this entire draft was you had originally 5 picks in the top 100, top 97 to be exact. And you walked out with 1 starter. And if you take away the trade, you still were in 4 picks in the top 100 and you got 1 starter. This is not acceptable for me. Brad Holmes is too impulsive. And it's starting to really make me wonder. I'm starting to look at it a little bit different. And I'm not trying to just be a negative nanny and just, let me just talk about Brad Holmes. But I'm trying to figure out, how in the hell does a 6th-round pick, who everybody claims is so undersized, works his way into the starting lineup, and people like Ellis Anzalone gets veteran treatment? How in the hell does that happen? How? How does that happen? How does Ellis Anzalone become the de facto veteran treatment guy? How? Where's that? Now, this is where it becomes a little bit more problematic for me. But the Lions need to really start making some phone calls, because our linebacker room is in dire need of help. And the safeties, I'm going to tell you right now, I'll be surprised if the safeties survive the season. They are having to make so many goddamn tackles. It just makes me want to puke. That's all I'm saying. Anthony says, how long did we laminate that we had GMs who could not draft to save their lives? We should be happy we are drafting guys fighting to be starters, not getting cut in preseason. That's a fair point, Anthony. I'll give you that. But here's another fair point for you. You had 2 first-round picks, a second, and I believe 2 thirds. in the top 97 in a draft that was completely designed for defense. And you opted to take a defensive end, second overall, great. You traded up 12 spots, took a receiver. Oh, okay. But he's hurt. You come in the second round, you take another DN who's hurt. You come in the third round, you take a safety who, by all purposes, is not looking like a safety that you can trust. But the argument is going to be made, give him time. Okay. Then you come and you take Malcolm Rodriguez. Okay, cool. No, let me go back. You took the tight end that we didn't freaking need, who did play yesterday. But again, who cares? Right? Like, all them draft picks, and how many of them is starting day one? 2 out of 7? What a great ratio. And by year 2, we're going to be expecting bigger things from them. So I'm giving them an opportunity to prove me wrong. Right? I met every last one of them. I want them to prove me wrong. But it's hard to do it when you're not on the field. And the general manager that we have needs to be able to say to himself, did I put enough players in position to help this team win now? And I don't think that did that. That's just my take on that. Another thing I wanted to point out was some things happening around the league, particularly with the Vikings, because I think there's opportunity there. The Vikings traded for Nick Mullins. And then, I was shocked. I was like, well, did they just give up on Calamard, or what the hell going on? Right? And the more I looked at it, the more it made sense to me that they're getting ready. Right? Like, they're getting ready to make some different moves. And I think because of those moves, the Lions can be in position to now get a quarterback that we might be okay with. We might be okay with Kellen Mond, or we might be okay with getting to Kirk Cousins and knowing that Nick Mullins is coming in. Nick Mullins don't scare me, but I still would rather have Nick Mullins than Tim Boyles and David Blau. And I'm just wondering, when do we get into those things so we can start to, see the fruits of our labor with depth? Because right now we don't have depth. John says, Vel said the safety from Illinois was going to be trash. She warned y'all. It's too early for me to call him trash, John. But Vel did say that she does watch Illinois football, and she said she was very underwhelmed and unimpressed with him. And that, yeah, he had one good year, but it was just that. So it is what it is. Steve-O says, Luke, go around the league and see how many rookies are starting. Having 2 rookies start is good. Let's go around the league and tell me how many teams had 5 picks in the top 97. Let's go around the league and tell me how many teams had 4 picks in the top 100. And then and tell me how many starters they got out of those. Let's go around the league and show me how many teams had 2 first-round picks, 2 thirds, and a second. We can go around the league and do these things. Don't get me wrong. I have no problem going around the league to do those. But when we do it and we put it in context, let's be honest. He had opportunity to net us more than 2 starters with 5 picks in the top 100. In fact, when you look at the list right now that they're doing for the top 100 players, it's not the top 150, 200, and 300. No, it's the top 100. And no, I'm not butthurt over no damn Hamilton. No, I don't care about the safety. I figure once they took Trayvon Walker, I figured Aiden Hutchinson was the pick. I figured that. And I figured when they traded up that they were going to take a linebacker, and they went with a receiver who's hurt. Okay. Took a tight end who's hurt, a DN who's hurt. So 3 out of your 7 are hurt. Lucas looked like he might turn into something slowly. Right? Looked like he might be something. But that Houston kid, Very underwhelming. So we go one in the possible there. That's 2. So 2 starters, 1 in the possible, half decent picks, and 3 of them is hurt. Great. Yes, I saw Mitchell play. I said that he played the other day. I said that. But when they took him, he was hurt. So, and he's not finna start. He's not finna unseat Brock Wright. So, why did you take this tight end? Like I literally said, he played, but he's not finna unseat Brock Wright. That's all I'm saying. The linebacker room for me is it's trash. It's just trash. I was frustrated. I really was, and it wasn't because there was a few times they made plays, and I was like, okay, great. Also, another thing that I noticed too with that game was I don't know how Deuce Staley would be as a head coach, but I do know you're gonna be held accountable. Am I the only one that noticed how he cussed every running back out? I thought it was just Swift. He cusses every running back out. Every last one of them. He cussed them out for things that I didn't even know was cussable. And I love it. I love seeing that type of energy. But good grief, he ain't letting nobody have no leeway, no room. He's 100% saying, look, you got to be better than this. You got to be better than what you're doing. You cut here, you get this. Just do your job. And I'm loving it. I love that Dan Campbell allowed them to coach. I hope Dan Campbell tells Brad Holmes I need linebackers. That's why I keep trying to figure out, is Jalen Smith still out there? Did I miss something? Like, seriously. Alexander will make this team as a kick returner and wide receiver 6. As a kick returner and wide receiver 6. So who are you putting out? Who do you have leaving the Lions room? If Alexander makes the team as a kick returner, then you telling me that we're going to be down a running back because that Godwin, whatever his name is, you telling me he's not making the team? If you're telling me that, then okay. If they believe that he's the better prospect for this team at that position, okay. But I don't know if he makes it as the number 6. I don't think Alexander is ahead of Tom Kennedy. And I don't got Tom Kennedy making the team. So that's why I'm trying to figure out, like, who is he taking? Whose spot is he taking? If you're telling me he's going to make it at 6, Josh Reynolds is 1, Amara St. Brown is 2, Chark is 3, Williamson is 4, Khalif is 5, Cephas is 6. So you're telling me Cephas, Trinity Benson, Tom Kennedy, Pimpleton are all out. And Alexander makes the team. The only way they do that if they get rid of Godwin, in my opinion. I could be wrong. Deuce not playing no games. He wants greatness. Yeah, he's not taking it. He got Benson and Kennedy out. Okay, but you still got Reynolds, Amon-Ra. You still got Reynolds, Amon-Ra, Khalif Raymond, Chark, Cephas, and Jameson Williams. That's still 6 right there. So you're saying they're carrying more than 6? I'm just trying to figure it out. J-Mo is out till week 7. So you're just saying just count him as a sidetrack, take somebody there. Okay. How many snaps would a 6 receiver actually get at wide receiver? I would rather have the 6 wide receiver be a good kick return. That's what I'm saying. I don't think they keep him in Godwin. I don't think they keep both. Somebody got to go. They got to keep a spot. Because they need all them linebackers. Every linebacker need to stay here. They need to figure this out for real. Alexander could make the team till Williams comes off the pup. Okay. I don't see him making the team. I'd be shocked if he make the team. Oh, well, I take that back. I think if Godwin is gone, he makes the team. But that's the only way I see it. I could be wrong. All right. We at that point where I put the thing in the chat so y'all can join me and talk crap. Tell me I've lost my damn mind. I'm full of shit. You know, the usual suspect stuff. I'm all for it. I don't have any issues with it. But feel free to speak your mind. I also going to touch on a few other things because the hard knocks that's coming on tonight. Because for me, I am at a point now. I am at a point now with Hard Knocks where I literally am like watching it because I want to see certain things. And right now, one of the things I want to see is the conversations that are coming from Ben Johnson. Because I'm wondering, like, it dawned on me as I was watching the episode again, because I ain't had nothing to do. I was watching the episode again, and I was like, damn, I saw Aaron Glenn. I saw Stu Staley. I saw Dan Campbell. Where the hell is Ben Johnson? Where the hell is Ben Johnson? That's the question of the day. And I hope they feature him so I can see what's really going on there. He said, you definitely lost your mind. Look, sometimes, just a little bit. Just a little bit. Not too much, but a little bit. What's going on, Joe Lewis 313? What's going on, King? How are you, sir? My man D. Williams in the building. What up, though? I mean, I probably lost it a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But overall, the view is this team, and mind y'all, as I'm watching this game, I'm only looking for people who's trying to be a dog. It's some people that I think had a good outing. And I know that Dan Campbell announced that he's going to play all the starters this week against Pittsburgh minus Jared Goff. So it's going to be a big issue in that regard. Like, seriously. What's going on, Mike? BD Buster is in the building. It's going to be a little interesting. Let me drop this thing in the chat so we can go ahead and get my disagreeers and my agreeers and everybody to jump in and talk that talk. All right, let me put that in there. Bam. It's in the chat. Let me make sure I pin this so we don't have nobody. If you want to come in and talk a little ball, come in and talk a little ball, but come in prepared to talk ball. Don't come in and just chill in the background. Come in and talk some ball. Give me your take it and hop out and listen. That's what I need right now. But yeah, I do want to see more Ben Johnson. You said D. Williams says, I think wait a minute. They're deliberately not showing Ben Johnson. They're trying to keep their offense under wraps. I never thought about that. And that's a good point. They could be trying to do that. You know what I'm saying? They could be trying to do that, and it is what it is. I know, Mike. Don't even get me started. The linebacker situation is so ridiculous. It's bad. It's big time bad. And for people who think it don't matter, shame on them. Jon Kapler, Luke, what are your thoughts on YouTubers, fans of other teams saying there's an honorary Lion fan till the Jets quarterback Zach Wilson get healthy? I don't think nothing of it, because to me, they can say that. I don't know what all their hidden agendas are, but when you're on TV like Hard Knocks and you get the chance to see the insides and out of a team, it's easy to start to like them a little bit. But I was born and raised here. I didn't get to see the inside and out of them. I got to see pretty much the outside, and it wasn't much to desire in a lot of those cases, but they always had players that you can look at. I think we were one of the teams with the most like Hall of Fame players in the league or something like that. Like we were one of the like top 5 teams or something like that. But if they want to do that, more power to them. I ain't mad at them. Hey, my man, Erkin Jerk, they got the podcast going and up and running. He says, Ben Johnson and Goff, where are you at? They're not going to talk to Goff too damn much, but I'm definitely I'm definitely wondering where the hell Ben Johnson is at. I'm thinking that this might be the one we get to see him with the game that they had against the Colts and the joint practice. And another thing that I'm going to be looking at, this is the one thing. I saw all these reports, maybe like the day of the first practice, that said that, the Lions was doing great. Okudah was doing great. And then like a few hours later, I saw another report after the practice was over that said Okudah got burnt. All the Lions cornerbacks got burnt. Then they said day 2 of the joint practice that, the Lions were struggling. I mean, I saw all these reports, and I was so confused and lost. I'm going to be watching the joint practices with a fine-tooth comb this Hard Knocks, because I really want to see how they did in practice. I want to see it, and I hope they don't cheat us out of that. I hope they don't give us the quick rundown snippets of plays that you've seen on social media. I hope they actually show the battles between the two teams, the scuffles and everything. That's what I hope that they see. Anthony says, embrace Malcolm Rodriguez, Luke. It'll make you feel better. I'm going to embrace every Lions player to prove me wrong. But Malcolm Rodriguez, If he starts day one, kudos to him. If he starts day one. If he don't, kudos to him. It don't make me a different. The linebacker room it needs prayer. It just needs prayer. And no matter how you look at it, it's not a good room. This is not. I think they don't want to show too much of behind the curtains on the offensive side. Well, if that's the case, then give me something. I'm not asking for much. You know what I'm saying? I'm just asking for a little bit, not a whole lot, a little bit. All right. Barnes was graded as a top 5 linebacker defensive player on our team last week. He's coming along. Who graded him? PFF. I hate PFF. Oh God, I hate PFF. I don't even look at PFF grades. I don't know how they do this. I don't know why they do it or how they do it, but I hate PFF. I hate them with a passion. I cannot. What's going on, Ferg? What's going on? Let me see. Make sure I miss nobody. Is 800 rushing, 800 passing yards for Swift enough to make him an elite running back? I think he is an elite running back, and I think he'll get 1,000 yards rushing. Now, if he did 8 and 8, that's 1,600. That's still some elite production, but I think he's gonna get 1,000 yards like rushing, and I expect big things from Swift. My man showed up in the building. Anthony, what's going on, brother, from Royal Lions, UK?
Hey, Luke, how you doing?
You know what? I knew you was gonna come in here because I knew the moment I brought up Malcolm Rodriguez and I said something about the GM, I said, "Oh shit, he coming." All right.
You know what, Luke? You said that when it came to the linebacker room, you need some prayers there. Well, all you've got to do is pray to our God, Emrod, and everything will be better.
That's how you do it. This is a good point, though. Mike says thoughts on Pascal injury, Luke. He hurt. I mean, what more can you listen? If you're not available, that's a problem for me. And this is another player took it in the second round who is not available. And I don't know what to tell you. You could have did 1,000 things different. You could have just capped your draft picks, stayed home and took a different receiver. You could have, and then took a safety, took a linebacker. This whole draft should have been all defense with the exception of a quarterback if you was going to go on that route. Like, I don't know what you want. I don't. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of this drafting hurt player stuff. That's all I'm saying. Rodrigo might be better than Nakobe Dean. Nakobe Dean is not the standard for me.
Like I say, I think, we just want to be grateful we're in a position where we don't have a complete moron as a GM who can't draft players. We went through it with Matt Millen, we went through it with Bob Quin, unless it was an offensive lineman. The days where we were drafting guys and we're just like, oh, Jesus Christ, these guys are going to be busts. We're cutting them in preseason. At least now, and yes, we could say the roster's not the strongest in the world, but still we are drafting guys, from rounds 1 through to 7 who are competing for the roster. I mean, we don't even have to use Rodriguez as an example. We talk about him every single week. But what about Chase Lucas? He's the 7th round pick out of Arizona State. He's on the field making plays. He's impressing his coaches. He might get into a cornerback room, which we said was actually, there's a lot of potential depth there. There's a lot of players who could make those roster spots, and he's potentially going to fight his way in there as well. And he was taken even later in the draft. Should that not be something that we should be happy with? We've had so many GMs who can't draft for shit all through the draft. Let's applaud the fact that we've got one where the guys rounds 1 through 7 are battling to get on this roster.
I have no problem applauding that we got a general manager, right? Like, don't get me wrong. But we're human. We're all flawed. I'm flawed, you flawed, and he's definitely fucking flawed. And he's breaking rules that he learned from people who do it all the time. And I don't like it. I don't like the fact that you're taking players who's hurt. I don't like the fact that you're neglecting rooms that don't need to be neglected. You just don't. You're neglecting things that should not be neglected when you come into a draft and everything you need is right there. That's the equivalent to a person who says, I'm hungry, and I lay every form of food out there for them. It's to your picking, and they still say, I'm hungry. There's nothing for me to eat here. You just didn't want it.
I mean, is he really doing what he said he wasn't going to do, though? I mean, the first thing they said when they got here last year was games are won and lost in the trenches. That is where they're won. That is where they're lost. And that is where they've invested. Sewell last year, Hutch this year, McNeil, Levi last year, Pascal this year. He said he was going to go for the trenches, and he's gone after guys who believe he'll get value from on those trenches. So it seems to be part of a long-term plan to build those up into fearsome units. Because, if the defensive line does perform how it potentially could this year, if we start getting more sacks, if we start getting more pressure, it alleviates a lot of that pressure on your linebackers and your secondary that we've had for years. We've had no pressure on the quarterback. Bog standard guys have been able to rip us apart because we're not getting pressure on them. If you get pressure on them and, stop them from throwing on us, it helps your secondary, and, you build it that way. And then hopefully next year we see a few more skill positions and we go for it that way. But I don't think it's anything. I don't think he's deviated from his philosophy at all. I think this was the way he intended to build it.
What is his philosophy?
His philosophy, like I say, is building through the trenches. That's what they've done in LA. They've created some defensive. That defensive line there won them the Super Bowl. It weren't the linebacker unit that they've neglected. It weren't their secondary that they've neglected outside of Jalen Ramsey. It was that defensive line. It made the critical play that won them the Super Bowl. And he wants to do the same here. We've already got an offensive line that's, considered well into the top 10 in this division. They're trying to do the same now with the defensive line. That's why we've put 4, top 2 day picks in the draft into him in 2 drafts. We've attempted to completely renovate it.
Now, Vinny B says, not hijacking the show. Our Lions pod up and running. Check us out this evening. Need the feedback. Pod drops this morning. Eric the Jerk Sports. Hashtag Rodriguez for president. We was doing good till he went to that goddamn Rodriguez for president thing. We was doing so good. We was on track. Everything was smooth. We was on schedule, and then he came with that one. Damn it. I see no effort from Burns. None. I see effort from him, but I also see a guy who is overrunning gaps and not filling them right. And so it is what it is. It's frustrating that our 2D line in the second round for 2 straight years are too hurt to play. Well,
yeah, it is.
Shout out to Mike. Mike says he will jump on, but he is getting ready to go take family pictures. Have fun with the family pictures, brother. Appreciate it. Burns and Davis sucks. It's so bad. Anzalone is just serviceable. We need a coverage linebacker.
Agreed. We do need a coverage linebacker. And even I will admit this.
I can't argue with what am I going to argue with? I think the damn room is terrible. And the sad part is I think Davis right now is probably our best blitzer. And Barnes to me needs to be blitzed more, but what can I say? They think he can do coverage duties. I wouldn't do it. Now in my Madden franchise league, which I did get this year's Madden, and I must say there's a lot of differences on the PS5 Xbox Series version that makes it a little bit more fun. In Madden, I used to be able to just press the button and throw the ball. Now I get to do back shoulder passes, and this is pretty fucking fun. So,
yeah, it is a bad room. But all I'd say is, look at the roster that Quin left us. It was never going to be fixed in 2 drafts. And I think there was always going to be a position that struggled. And, we've invested in Barnes and Rodriguez. And, hindsight, the linebacker room may be trash this year. No one may develop this year. And we may have a huge problem on our hands this year. But what if, in theory, this time in 12 months, Rodriguez has played well, Barnes has shown up to his potential. We've kind of got the depth in the room there. And then next year, they go after, a top linebacker in the draft. They go after Noah Sewell. They go after Mohamed Diabate. They go after someone like that, your real top draft pick leader who's going to be the guy in that room going forward. In 12 months, you've got a solid linebacker room as well as your trenches. So it could all still work out for us. I know, it could just as clearly go wrong, but I'm saying it could go right as well. This method they've used, it's not, necessarily setting us just up for failure. There are potentially some really good pieces here, to add the number 1 guy to next year.
Do you think those guys that you mentioned will be? Because I think the Lions are going to win, 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 let's say they're in like the 20s. You think they'll last to the 20s?
Oh yeah, I mean Diabate, he's got a lot to prove at Utah this year, but I
Okay.
really like it. I think he's the next Devin Lloyd out of there. But Noah Sewell could be. Depends on the type of year he has. Depends how team value. Like, there's a lot that could go on.
So
I'm
let me
saying
ask you
that.
this. Let me ask you this then, because I don't want to cut you out. I do apologize. I just want to
Come
kind
on.
of, I want to make sure I segue this into the point. If you see it in that light, right, and they got 2 first-round picks and a quarterback is available, and you know that Goff is coming up on the end of his deal, are you prepared to say skip the quarterback this year with 2 first-round picks?
That depends on how Goff does. This is why we can't.
Okay.
This is why until the season is done, if Goff gets us to the playoffs, then I am happy to roll one more year with him and see how he gets on. And I would invest it all in that defense. Regardless, even if we do need to go for a quarterback, you go for a quarterback top of the board. Your second first round pick goes on a linebacker or a cornerback, and then your second round pick goes on a linebacker or a cornerback. Reverse the orders, whoever's best there at the time. You go defense heavy at the top of this because your offense is sorted for a lot of years here potentially. The wide receiver core is, the offensive line is, you've got the flexibility next year. Now that we've got Jameson Williams, you've got the right amount of receivers here, the right type of receivers here, and you've got some money in free agency next year as well to work with. So I would go defense heavy next year, regardless if whether one of them's got to go quarterback or not. But there are guys in there, and it could, in one world, work the way we've done it. The D-line balls out this year. The other 2 units are just good enough. We go into next year's draft and really stick some capital into them, and then that defense is going to be humming next year. It could go wrong.
I'm over the 3-year. It take 3-year build, and next year, and next year, and next year. Next year,
I think we should be in the playoffs next year. I think
we should be in the playoffs this year, and I think that in this year, that this is where you have a chance to make a stand and make a run, in my opinion, because your schedule is going to be more serviceable, and I'm worried about it. Technical Puma 58 says, "How do you know what his rules are?" Laughing out loud. That's all he freaking talks about. He literally talks about what he learned from the Rams and what they did. And, he was always taught you don't draft hurt players in the first round. And then he did it, right? He's always taught that when you do your evaluation on people when they are hurt or they have certain type of ailments or something like that, you kind of move them down the board and move those other ones up. So he said himself that he's changed on a lot of his rules and stuff like that. Raw Detroit says, "Hello, my Lions brothers and sisters, family, facts, Luke. Brad Holmes left a lot of talent on the table. You ain't got to tell me. Shoot."
Again, you can't call these drafts until 2 or 3 years down the line. We can't call Holmes' draft from last year for another year at least. You've got to wait and see how this plays out over time. Yes, we could say he's left talent on the table, but every GM will leave talent on the table potentially. They'll all make their own decisions. He felt this is the way to go with it, and this is the way he's gone. And we won't know for a couple of years yet as to what the outcome of this is going to be. So I would just urge patience on this one. And I know the guys are injured. I'm frustrated as you, Luke. I want to see Pascal play. I want to see Levi play. We need him this year because we need that D-line to be good. But, I just have to trust that, he knows what he's doing. Because at the end of the day, he has made some really good draft picks here. And he seems to know the player. He seems to know the players who have got it. You see Amon-Ra, he's got it. He's got the will, the drive, and the passion to succeed. So has Aiden. So has Penai. He's got all these guys in who are motivated and will not stop trying to get better. He knows the temperament and he sees the ceiling with them. So there's a reason he's picked these guys. Even down to Malcolm Rodriguez. You say what you want about him being a starter. That attitude is top class. The attitude is as good as you can get with this guy. He's a guy who's willing to learn. He'll put himself on special teams. He made the first special teams tackle of the year because he wants to be that guy who gets involved, who gets his place in this team, and wants to keep on working. You can't deny that he gets...
I get that. I get every bit of that. I just...
I know we're mixing it with the frustration of the injury. I share the same frustration because it's like I've said with now...
I see you in the back, brother.
With Romeo being put on PUP and he's not going to be in for 4 weeks, I've said if Romeo's not back by the bye, then I will trade him, I will cut him, I will do whatever. I'm done. I'm tired of waiting for these players to get better and fit again.
It's so tiring, man.
Yeah. If Levi's in this position next year where he has another on-off season with injury and that, I will cut him. I don't care if it's year 3 of it been a rookie. I will cut him. I will have zero tolerance with this. So I understand the frustration, but at the same time, I try and look for the positive in it as well. And I do see bona fide positives from how he has drafted, the type of player he has drafted. If Pascal comes back week 4, he's fit, he's healthy, he's over his issues, and he comes in and he starts to be the player he knows we can be, then we'll be a lot happier with this come week 7, week 8, etc. I think with just some of these guys, we've got to show a little patience. But, the ones who have been hurt long term and that, Romeo he's really pushing his luck now with me. And it's not his fault he got injured, but the length of time it's taken him to get back and how long it's going to take for him to get back to full fitness when he does start playing, for me, just says we're paying him too much money to sit around and wait, and he's got to go. And it's got to be the same with all these guys. Julian ain't going to make this roster, I don't think. He's had too much time.
He's another player. But you know what's funny? He's another player that when we drafted him, I was like, oh, okay. And again, this only happens when you let people – I'm going to leave that alone. Big West Captain says Pascal would be a stud. Just let him heal. I actually think he's going to be the best player that we took this draft if he can get healed up. Next, we have my man Jon Kapler joining us. What's going on, John?
What? He's going to be the best player we drafted this year? He's going to be better than Aiden Hutchinson? What?
I'm sorry. I think you get more out of him than you do Aiden Hutchinson.
I'm not hating that because Hutchinson's supposed to be a monster. So if he's more of a monster than him, Edge is set.
This is my thing. If Aiden Hutchinson was brought in to be, like you said, to be a monster and to be different, but my thing is with Pascal, when I watched him, I was like, ooh, I don't know if I'm like, that's different. Like I like looking at people take on good competition and win, and it gives you something to look forward to. So that's what I mean by that. I just looked at it from that standpoint and said, I don't mind it. I think from what I saw, if he's healthy, I think he can really be a problem for a lot of people. Dr. Detroit says, you mean they didn't win the Super Bowl with awesome linebackers? Shit, we don't even get mad linebackers. I mean, we can we get some decent linebackers? I'm just saying.
Right.
I mean, anybody. 2 guys in the podcast, shout out to you. Does Hutch play much at all tonight? Huh?
Tonight? They don't play till Sunday.
Yeah, I thought.
I hope he's not playing tonight.
Yeah, if he plays
on
tonight,
a Tuesday.
Yeah, I would.
Maybe he's confused with the show that's coming out on HBO tonight. Hard Knocks.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, we'll see. We will see. I don't know. Let me get this off the screen. Hold on. There you go. John, what do you got for us today, sir?
Not much. It's been a long time. Good to be on. So we're talking about defense. How we need to improve our defense, and sadly, how our linebacking core is horrible. My thoughts are we only have one defensive tackle. Those are my thoughts, and anyone who don't like that, well, tough tiddlywinks, because Levi's injured with a back injury. As many people know, including Micro Mike, back injuries are a bitch and very hard to come back from. He has been injured back-to-back years. We've said it over and over again. And next year, if given the position, I think we trade up because we are going to be losing someone from the front office who has kept our GM from trading up.
Yep.
And I think we could trade up. And if we trade up, depending on how many plays, I would love that defensive tackle from Georgia. Let's say we start sniffing the playoffs. We're drafting around, 16. Trade down. Maybe we get him and we have another first round and we can get our linebacker. Defensive tackle and a good linebacker. The guy from Clemson, maybe he falls. Defense is looking a little better. Maybe in that second you can go and get Joey Porter Jr., cornerback. You're solving a lot of things.
See, my thing is I don't like jumping to the draft without playing the season because at that point.
I know. No one does. But, I mean, everyone's doing it early, and I'm still bashing on people for let's take a quarterback. It's like, let's not. Let's finish the defense. I've already gotten on people for that.
No, but what I'm saying is when we jump into the draft like that, if we mess around and have a crappy year or something, and you're picking second overall, you're not thinking none of those players. You're thinking quarterback 100%. And so those things do change the outcome of. So that's why I don't get into the draft talk before then. But, I do agree with you about the D tackle, and so does Dr. Detroit. And, again, it's one of the reasons why I was like, yeah, I would apologize to Sue. Like you already gonna try to make things better with Megatron. Bring Sue back. Sue should have never left. And if you can't get sued, you need to make some phone calls because we need somebody. You know,
bring him back, have him be our mentor, be him our legendary whatever guy. Be like, hey, finish your career out here. Help teach our defensive line how to be nasty. You know, you got 3 more years. What's the tax that's going to be taken out? We know you're all about not having to pay taxes. All right, let's throw you an extra $3 million so that covers what's taken out of taxes. Get him in here.
I'm just asking the question because I'm asking this question of. I think. Well, let me go back. The way you said that, something I've been thinking about too, is that Dorsey is not going to be here too much longer.
Yes, that's his name, John Dorsey.
And to me, I do think Dorsey has saved him from making dumb decisions. But I do think Dorsey helps him make some dumb decisions when he just, we will find out soon enough. That tight end pick forever is going to be the stupidest pick of this entire freaking draft. I don't care what nobody say. That right there, I'll take to the grave until he proves me wrong. That was just a waste of a pick, in my opinion. It's the equivalent to taking Jason Huntley after you just drafted Swift. What's the point? What's the freaking point? I don't get it. Let me ask you this question so I can kind of move us a little bit forward. When looking at this team, obviously we're getting ready to go against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Obviously we got Hard Knocks coming up, so I guess I'll start with Hard Knocks. Start with you, Anthony. What do you want to see tonight? What is it that you need to see tonight that you like? I need to see this tonight. I want it.
I want to see a bit more along the lines of what I did last week. I want to see a bit more of the coaches. I want to see some more of this tough love to the players. I think that, I like it with some of the guys. The stuff with Swift, he needs a boot up the arse because I think that he got a little full of himself when Lions fans declared him the next big thing, because we don't have a running back in so long, and he did all right first year, and people were like, oh my God, he's going to be amazing. And I think it got to him a bit. You see the way he plays. I fully agree with the line that Juice Staley's taken with him. So I'd like to see a bit more about that. But weirdly enough, I'd like to see more about Jared Goff this week because Jared Goff has the perfect Hard Knocks storyline. He was discarded by the Rams. He's had to sit and watch them have success this year. He wasn't wanted by the fan base particularly a great deal. You kind of want to hear more from him because it must not have been easy for him, to have to deal with all that. And you feel if you want him to try and bond with fans a bit, fans to understand him a little bit more, maybe tell his story a little bit more, as it were, because I think it's perfect I think it's perfectly designed for them. But yeah, so I just want to see more from the coaches. I love the coaching staff here, and I think they're going about everything the right way. So similar to last week for me.
I mean, what are you looking for, John? What is something that you just like? Look, I need to see this tonight. I want to see it, and I'm intrigued to see this when they come on tonight. What is that?
Oh God, there's so much, and I don't know if they'll do this because it would maybe be giving away whatnot. But I want to hear them talk about our defensive line and see if they say anything about our players who are injured. How is Levi coming along? You don't gotta say, hey, he's gonna be coming back at week whatever, but maybe talk about that because he was drafted and some people thought, and I believe maybe you were one of them, Luke, after you did some research, that he was the #1 defensive tackle that year in that class. I want to know. I need to know how Levi is doing and just something. Give me something because if he's not doing well, I mean, granted, he'll be back, but is he going to be injured? I'm rooting for another defensive tackle first round. Like, I need to know how our defense is doing because, as the man from the UK said, our offense is set. But how is our defense looking? How are they coming along? How are our backups coming along? Our second string guys ready to take over and be first string guys and do it well.
Now, Michael Mike got all types of problems. This man says he want to see Rory feature his origin story and why? I mean, they have
his origin story is his great grandfather is Cowardly Lion from the Wizard of Oz. So I can tell you that that's like his great grandfather.
Okay, and so if that was his great grandfather, was his grandfather the lion from the Chronicles of Narnia, or like am I missing?
Yes, okay. Exactly. There you go. Okay. You got it.
All right. But they have not featured him. I agree. For me, there's two things I want to see. I want to see more Ben Johnson. Can I see Ben Johnson? But more importantly, can I please get a camera in a room with the DBs? I want to see Okudah face. I want to see how RB Pleasant is coaching Okudah. I want to see what is he telling him to do? What is he asking him to do? What is his response to the things that's being asked of him? How is he looking when other people are performing and he's looking on the outside looking in when it comes to people like Will Harris taking his spot who switched from safety to corner? I want to see that conversation. That's what I want to see. I want to know that they have blood in their veins in that room. And for me to see RB Pleasant talk to these DBs the same way that I saw Shepard talk to the linebackers, I saw Deuce talk to the running backs. I want to see how you talk to these DBs because I just knew a linebacker was going to get cursed out. And I even said, I said this when we came back. I said, from that second, I said, if a linebacker don't get cursed out, we got a problem. And they did. And they should have got cursed out. Right? They should have. Because there were some things that needed to be worked on. And it wasn't even pertaining to the Falcons game. So, coming back around this time, it's going to be all kind of conversations, from the Falcons game to this Colts game where you're going to be saying to yourself, hey, what did you do? That's what I want to see. That fan man says, week 1 last year, the crowd versus San Francisco was mad. What crowd? I was at that goddamn game. That was just San Francisco stadium. I have never seen so much red. And it was like, oh, well, you looking at the away team side. Bullshit. I walked from that side to my seat. It was red everywhere.
You didn't have to walk around. All you got to do is look left, look right. You can see the whole stadium from wherever you're at. You can see everywhere.
It was so many 49er fans in that stadium. It's ridiculous. It can't happen.
No. We need to be packing that stadium out, which I will be at that game. Can't wait. And we need to be blowing the roof off of that place.
And I still think we beat the Eagles.
And that's a good test first week. That's a damn good test week 1.
Yo, Luke, what up, though? My man Joe Lewis 313 said at Raw Detroit, to be honest, Skylar T doing better than both Tua and Bridgewater. Skylar T. Who the hell is
Skylar Thompson?
Thompson.
Oh, Thompson. Okay, I'm like, who the hell is Skylar T?
Where's he out of? I forget.
Kansas
where did he
State.
come from?
Yeah,
Kansas State. Okay.
Luke, I was thinking about something. A lot of these Lions YouTube channels they say they start here first on the Luke G show. Back when you was taking phone calls days. You the man, boo. Appreciate
it. You started us off, Luke. So
I don't remember if I remember those.
So I used to take phone calls. And then I had kids and some equipment may or may not have gotten a liquid poured in it. And I refused to buy another. I refused to buy another soundboard. That's the truth. That's what happened. I literally had it all on the
soundboard.
I literally had it all on the desk, and I stepped out for a brief second because they asked for a banana, and I went to go get the damn banana, and I came back, and it was a whole lot of bashing of cups on things in liquids, and I was just like, okay. All right, but yeah, appreciate it, man. For me, I wanted to be like so many other people that helped me in so many things in my life. So I just figure, why can't we all talk about the same thing we love? And a lot of them are growing and are bigger than me, and I'm like, that's great. Like, to me, that's awesome. You know what I mean? I expect for them to do the same thing, pay it forward, and show love to people too. So I've always supported people. At one time I think I supported like somebody's clothing store, somebody had a damn cookie store, a makeup store, protein, tea. I've done it all, and I will support people who are trying to do things like that. It's just who I am. We got another person joining the show. My man Gunner is in the building. What's going on, Gunner?
Hey, what's up, fellas?
What up?
We here, man. We know
Gunner, the gunner, the runner.
Let me see. It says I did him as a hidden gem prospect quarterback. Colin Thompson. I had an eye on him for the draft. Hey, Buffed Up said, you in Luke Discord? That Discord, they be in there having the most intriguing conversations.
That should be crazy in there.
I had to leave. Like, it was getting just too much.
Well, certain conversations, I just, we shouldn't be having, but for the most part, it's fun. The Chaos Controller says, if Alexander do the same thing he did against the Steelers, let him stay. I agree and tell Godwin goodbye. I'm just not a huge fan of Godwin, and I don't know how he keeps surviving.
I think you need to give him reps at receiver. You need to see if he's got upside as a receiver as well if you want to keep him. You can't just keep him specifically as a return. That's the same problem I have with Jamal Agnew. He was just a returner, and that was literally it. So
he was the worst corner I've ever seen.
You kind of want you kind of
Is
want
that
these
was his other position?
Upside.
That's what he started as.
Corner? Oh no shit! I just knew his returner. I didn't even know he was another position.
Yeah, he sucked. One funky Lion fan says Luke and I don't always agree, but I've been rocking with him since day one and will be here till the end. Hey, salute to you, sir. I absolutely love it, man. And to me, I don't want you to always agree with me. I want you to tell me I'm batshit crazy and that I need prayer and I need help. I want you to tell me those things, and I'm good. Like I'm good with it because that to me is healthy. It's not something that you don't.
We don't need yes men.
It says, I hope I got Cash App. What? What that mean? What that mean? DJ, I've been saying that since I started listening to YouTube creators. So here's the thing. One of the reasons I've had a few people ask me this question about why I don't take donations and things like that. And the reason is because I haven't quite figured out a reason to take donations. I really do enjoy just talking to y'all, right? And don't get me wrong. Is this a damn job? Yes, it is. It's a lot of work and stuff like that. Make no mistake about it. It's time consuming and stuff like that. But I have so much fun talking Lions with other Lions fans, whether we agree or disagree, that I just don't take anything from you. And so, I don't. Now, if I somehow, some way come up with a damn good idea, right? Then I would take it and I would put it to good use. And that's what it boils down to is I cannot,
like a charity stream or something.
Yeah, I got to figure out something.
We should use it to sculpt a bronze statue of Malcolm Rodriguez to send to his house.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
I tell you what. Listen, believe it or not, this is my dream. My dream is that every player on the Lions blow up and be amazing and be great, and just be 100% a dog. And if they are, then it's like great. But if they not, it's like great because I understand that's how it works. And it is what it is. My man Brandon says, "Luke, we need to start that GoFundMe so we can get a new soundboard to take calls."
I was gonna say that.
Yeah, listen.
I was.
I can get another one. I'm just like, bro, that thing was expensive.
I think what you do now is fine.
I mean, and it was cool to take the phone calls because it's a lot easier than a person call in. You can actually hear what was going on. I had the whole thing working. It was cool.
Oh, I remember.
But I had my son, and it's funny because he's now 6, so it's been a long time since.
Yeah, that was. I don't think I found you until maybe 3-4 years ago.
Yeah. So he was. Like,
I missed out on all that fun.
Oh man, listen. I knew Quin like it was the back of my hand, so it is what it is. All right, let me see. Pickens is a pit bull already. Yeah, you could have picked him, but I mean it's too early to say at this point, though. To be in all fairness, Raw, it's a little bit too early. I don't want to get too up and too down on any one player right now in preseason because I feel like I've seen times where people have went crazy in preseason, and then the regular season come and they drop the ball repeatedly, like it's terrible.
Vice versa. Look at last year. Everyone was dogging on Sewell and the Bengals wide receiver. Oh, they're going to be trash. Regular season came and they were gangbusters.
This is why you got to wait 2 years to evaluate a draft class minimum, maybe 3.
100. Well, yeah,
and it depends on the position too. Like it really does. Linebacker's a hard thing to do. Cornerback DB's a hard thing to do.
I mean, right now, if you want to dog on you got to look back at 2019. Now you can dog on that class, and I can't think off the top of my head, but I don't think it's great. I don't think there's many left from that.
Tavai was the second round pick, so we can start off with that.
Let's not even talk about that name.
I think Will Harris was the third round pick.
You know what's funny?
I think Austin Bryan was there though, and Bryant's surprising.
Him and Amani were both from that class.
You know what's funny? And Brandon is breaking me down memory lane for real. So when when I had my son, I would a lot of times have him literally on my shoulder, rocking him while doing the show. And every now and then he would wake up or something like that, and then he would start crying. And it is funny because I watched a video the other day that I made, and I could hear him in the background like, yeah, and I'm like, all right, hold on, daddy duties. And I remember that I came back and the same number of people who was watching was still there. I was like, wow, they waited for me to be a dad and come back. And that meant a lot to me. You know, it meant a lot that they were still able to you know, to do the things. Mike said he's out to go get these pictures. Shout out to you, sir, man. Be safe out there. These people have been driving
Later, Mike.
the last few days. It makes no sense. But yeah, that's what it boils down to. Let me hit you up with this next question because and I know Gunnar just got in here, so let me go back and ask him this question too. What do you want to see on Hard Knocks?
What I've already been seeing.
Are you eating again? Okay, listen,
Sorry,
y'all don't know this. Gunnar comes on every time.
Hey, it is 6:00. I do not want to hear it.
Listen,
hey, I'm eating myself. Y'all can see that, so I can't even blame you, brother.
Gunnar. I remember one time we were doing the show, and all you heard in the back was.
God.
I'm like, who the hell is eating chips?
That was not me. You heard clinking of a bowl.
Oh, the bowl. Yes.
The bowl.
So who ate the chips? Was that Gnome?
I think it was Gnome, yes.
I think it was Gnome. Somebody ate a bag of chips.
Yes, Gnomus. I remember that. Yep.
And you were trying to put us all in the sunken place with the goddamn bowl and the spoon. I'm like, what is going on? I get it. All right. So let's kind of switch gears because at this point I'm seeing a lot of these damn reports about the 53-man roster. Who I need starting off with you, Gunnar. Give me that one person that you think is going to be like a surprise cut to people like, oh shit, he didn't make the team.
Cleve Freeman.
What? That would be a freaking surprise. What?
I think unless Brad Holmes will admit he made a mistake with Trinity Benson, I think they're going to keep Benson over Raymond. I'm going to be honest.
Oh my God. What?
So you got Cephas, you got Shark as your 1, Amon-Ra St. Brown as your 2, Reynolds as your 3, Cephas is your 4, and then who would be 6?
You still got Reynolds. Don't forget Reynolds.
That's the Reynolds.
Okay, you counted him already.
You don't have to count JEMO right now because he's on the PUP list.
Right.
God, who are other? TK's going to practice squad.
You got me over here thinking, man, damn, Khalif Raymond.
Depending on how many running backs they want to keep, I think he's could be a potential shock.
Okay. I definitely didn't see that one being the case. What say you, John?
One that Luke's not gonna like. It's maybe a surprise, but maybe not a surprise to the rest of us. But maybe Jared Davis.
I wouldn't be a surprise to me. Not at this damn.
No, it wasn't. Okay.
No, it wouldn't be this.
Then I would say Austin Bryant because as of lately he has been on freaking fire, and I love that man.
Yeah, that would be a surprise to me if they cut him. What say you, Anthony? Who you have that's a surprise cut?
I think Julian's done. Risdom put in his piece earlier in this week that he thinks he's missing out. He's done. Bryant's emerged. He'll be the guy there. I think Julian's done for next week.
Someone was just saying that earlier today in a video. I swear.
You know who put in his column, he says him and Houston are both struggling to make this team and will likely not make it. And that's what I've been saying for months now. His inconsistency with injury and play has just not been good. Yes, he played all right towards the end of last season, but it's exactly like Deshaun Hand used to do. He used to flash, then he'd get injured, then we'd have to wait again, and then he'd come back. He'd take time to get going, and just when you doubt him, he'll have a few plays, and then you'll love him again, and it's just a cycle that doesn't end well. And Austin Bryant ended last season well as well during the season, so he's got the same sort of thing, but he's actually fit this camp. He's playing well this camp, and he's balling out in the preseason games, and he's like working his ass off to get in that team. So, you know, it's quite simple for me. Julian goes.
Okay, I've been thinking about this surprise cut for the longest, and it's because I think that he serves a point, but he was not their pick. And I think while he's made a transition, I think that they may feel that they can survive with other people with the same skill set, and that is Will Harris. I know that Will Harris has been getting a lot of talk about taking over that spot, but he wasn't really their pick. And you know, AJ Parker and them, they've performed. They've shown that they can give you the same production. So it's like, okay.
Yeah, and Jerry Jacobs, like when he comes back, Will Harris ain't beating him out for the other's corner spot.
Right. I mean,
Jacobs going to be nice.
I just, before I hopped on here, I got done watching Aaron Glenn's press conference, and he was really talking like, man, Will Harris and Okuda both playing good. I'm like, what game are you watching? Will Harris is getting cooked.
I was saying the same thing.
Okuda didn't play.
I feel at this point like someone's lost a dare, and like, you know,
right?
He's got to have something.
And you know, the penance for losing that dare is he's got to keep Will Harris in the team and keep picking him up as like a good player.
So he's got to have something on that coaching staff. He's got to have pictures of something.
There's something going on. It's definitely something going on.
We always have that one player that we want to get off this team so bad. First it was Nevin Lawson, who somehow stayed for so long. Christian Jones, and now it's or what was the other guy? The safety that you hated, Tavon Wilson.
Don't get me started on Tavon Wilson.
And now it's Will Harris. He's the new. How is he still on this team?
I don't get it. Now, you know, there's been some cuts made. There's some players who got cut that I understand why they got cut, but there's some people that I think can come in and help this Lions team. And right now, for me, I really hope the Lions keep the tires on Troy Aikman. I really do. And I'm surprised that they cut Brady Breeze, because I'm like, why couldn't you just try him out at linebacker at this point? Like, I'm really at this point where I'm like, you really need to figure out something at that linebacker spot. So Troy Aikman could be, I think he could be a decent backup and come in and help us at the safety spot, or even try him at linebacker at this goddamn point, to be honest with you. But I mean, is there any free agents that you guys can think of that's jumping out to y'all that you're like, I hope we can look at him? Because I'm looking at a host of people that I'm just like, hey, I'll take a flyer on that guy.
I don't think anyone who's getting cut between 90 and 80 is necessarily going to make you better. I think that it's very few and far between the picks in there. I mean, I saw Joe Schobert got cut today, the linebacker, and I'm thinking there was a time when I feel like he was very highly rated amongst this league, and we all
2-3 years ago
wanted it. Yeah, I feel like we had this conversation maybe last year, but like he's been cut early, and I'm like, you know, is he that bad now that he's getting cut from an 80-man squad, or is he still, you know, could you get something out of him? I don't know, but I feel like the cuts between 90 and 80, you're not really going to find much that's going to improve you there. It's when you go down to the 53, those fringe guys, when you'll start finding guys who really might make you better.
But when it comes to our linebacker spot, Anthony, though, like it being so weak, guys that are getting cut right now, they might be a couple points of improvement. Like, that's how bad our linebacking core is. So maybe Joe Schobert, even if he's just a little bit better, that little bit better is a second string instead of a fourth string somewhere else.
I think there's more benefit to playing you. If the difference ain't that big, then I think you benefit more from giving your rookies just more snaps. Give them more experience in the NFL. And you can't interrupt the development of your rookies. So, like I say, if Schobert is only marginally better than one of these guys now, he's older, he's injury prone. If he's taking away snaps, then you're hurting yourself long term. You're just best off trial by fire, playing these guys, giving them a season, then get into next year, investing in free agency or the draft. I think for me, it has to be someone who's going to like supplant Anzalone. If you're going to do that, if you're going to find a better vet than Anzalone here, bring him in. Can Anzalone keep your young guys in? You can't afford to block the young guys this year.
Let me bring in another guy who comes in quite often, is always showing love and support. He might be eating, I'm not sure, but we're gonna bring him on, man. My man Crimson Shadows in the building. What's going on?
I'm here for the Church of Tavon Walker.
Oh my God!
The Church of Tavon.
He's in line behind the Church of Malcolm Rodriguez.
Come on,
there's a tier system here. There's multiple churches in this chat. So
before we get started, first of all, let me just say, Mr. Crimson, you look very nice, sir. You are bouncing back really, really well. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling a lot better, especially after surgery. Just got back from Toronto after rehabbing, proposed to my girlfriend, now fiance, and it's been
High five, brother.
High five.
Hey, 100%.
Up.
Okay.
I'm so glad to hear you're doing good, man, because I hadn't seen you in a minute. I was like, how's that cancer battle going? So I'm so glad to hear that, man. I've been praying for you.
Oh, I've got a scar now. Like, they remove lymph nodes. It's here to here, man.
Well, they say chicks dig scars, so you winning, right?
Yeah. See, that's why you're good with the proposal. Like, I got a scar, so you're gonna say yes to this.
Let me ask you this, Crimson, because I want to jump you in really quick and then go to the next topic and then get us out of here so I can get myself prepared to eat and watch some Hard Knocks. We are at a point where they're cutting players. Is there any free agent that got cut that you're looking at? Because I'm finna ask a real petty question because this is what we do as Lions fans, and I've already gotten a number of messages while I'm on now about this player, so I'm gonna talk about it. But if there are any free agents out there that you like,
I have
the
not
Lions
seen free agency
should look at.
I haven't heard any free agents yet, and if anybody notable, it's a linebacker at this point. I'm interested. Any cornerbacks, I'll take it.
Agree. Yeah, I'm with you.
Anything else, really? I mean, I have no other complaints but cornerback and linebacker, really. And at the end of the day, I mean, Amani is fine. I have no problem with him. I mean, Okuda's looking like he's improved. And, I'm sorry, Will Harris. I mean, wouldn't shock me if he got cut.
It would shock me, but I think that would be the surprise one. So we'll see. Now, I'm going to ask y'all all this question. I'm starting off with you, Anthony, because I know I got to do it. I've gotten a few messages just now. Is Joe Sherbert better? If we brought Joe Sherbert in, would he be the best linebacker on this team?
Honestly, I don't know. I feel like there was severe hype around him a few seasons ago and that he was really good. But, I would temper that with he's just been cut from an 80-man squad. So, it kind of like it would lead me to believe that maybe no. I know he's had injury issues and, Luke, we're fed up of injured players here. So, probably not. I think you'll probably find linebackers like next week when you cut down to the 53. But again, don't bring in anyone who's just going to get in the way of the youngsters. You want to switch the old guard up, not the young ones.
Do anybody think he will be the best linebacker on this team if picked up? That's very
50-50 between him and Anzalone. I think those two might be 50-50, and it'd just be a battle of who's just a little bit better. But then Anzalone knows the playbook, so edge goes to Anzalone, and that's sad.
Now I got a lot of messages about this last week when the Ravens cut Brett Hundley. They was like, "Man, we should take a look at him," and I was like, "I know we need a quarterback bad, but I'm not touching the quarterback until I fix those other problems on this team." And quarterback ain't the one. So just putting it out there, we are not in a position to take luxury picks. They need to come in and have a defined role to help this team win. And if they're not doing that, what's the point of you bringing them here? I fail to see the purpose in bringing somebody here for the hell of saying I brought them here. It makes no sense to me. But it is what it says. He's a good coverage linebacker. That's wrong.
That is or was. I don't know. I don't know. I'm going to pull up his PFF ratings just for fun.
Oh, here go
PFF.
He said for fun. He said for fun.
Luke's favorite thing to do with eating a ketchup and bologna sandwich, looking at PFF.
If you've ever watched my pod, Luke, you know how much I hate PFF.
Hey, look, I know you did. I know you did. I know. I'm just messing with you. It says Joe Sherbert was 7 seasons in the league, career 10 interceptions. What's going on, Go Lions? Shout out to you, sir. How are you?
Did you guys see
I mean, I get it.
Did you guys see that T. Saber got an interception the other day?
Did Nevin Lawson get one yet?
Huh?
Did Nevin Lawson get one yet?
Is he still?
I think he got one last year
against the high school team.
Oh wow, you went that far back.
No. I think he actually did get his first one when he was with Jacksonville. I can't remember who it was against, but I'm pretty sure he has one now.
So I got a friend who's a diehard Jacksonville fan. Like he lives there and everything, and he hates freaking like Nevin Lawson. He was like, dude, this dude was like he hated him. He was like, I don't even know how the hell he even made it to this team. I was like, hey, I'm happy he did. I'm happy he did. So.
He ain't here no more, so
that's what I said. All right. Let's see. We got a few more things, And also, if y'all got questions, put them in the chat. I'll answer those as we go. My last question to y'all, the panel, for coming in and rocking with me, is a simply put one. What do y'all think? With them saying that all the starters minus Jared Goff is going to play against the Pittsburgh Steelers. What do y'all expect to come out of this approach? Because they've already had the player ran only practice, which I was like, okay, haven't seen one of those in a long time. But what do y'all expect in that game? Like, because to me, I feel like the roster is already set at this point. Maybe I'm wrong. Starting off with you, Crimson, what did you expect from that?
I expected nothing less than just breaking off Russ and getting guys like rookies like Aiden Hutchinson, just trying to ease them into the league at this point. That's the only thing I get out of it. I don't see the real point in it. I'd rather have the backups in just to see what do we have something here, between our linebackers, our cornerbacks, the starters. I mean, take it or leave it. I don't take it as a big deal or anything like that.
All right, what say you, Gunner?
I expect good tempo and rhythm from both the offense and defense. I would like to see the linebackers improve from the game against the Falcons and hitting their gaps. I guess we'll see who they're going to give it to between Will Harris and Okudah, although I'm pretty sure Okudah's going to get the job. But yeah, other than rhythm and tempo and stuff, it's about what I expect.
And what say you, John?
Kind of the same thing as last man before me. Get the rhythm going. Kind of get them warmed up. And the thing is, how much are they playing? They said they're playing, but have they said how long they're playing?
I think it's a half.
And they said they were going to play a full half or a quarter of that first game, right? And it was only one drive. So don't hold your breath on a full quarter. So get them warmed up.
10 minutes.
About
10 minutes. There was only 2 drives in that quarter.
Yeah, the Falcons.
Get the wheels rolling, get them warmed up, and then get them out. Because you're playing the Eagles, so get a little warmed up.
Listen, I am dying laughing because I'm dying laughing because Super Saiyan Lion says, "And Luke, when are you getting your Rodrigo jersey?" And you would think that would just be enough. And I was ready to respond. I was ready to get my response. And then I see this. No. No, absolutely not. If he goes out and he balls, I will personally buy the jersey. If he goes out and he balls and he's doing it consistently, I will personally buy the jersey. Shout out to you, Gavin Carson. He says, finally made it to a live show. I know you kind of got to it towards the end. But yes, you always get great conversation and stuff that you have.
He's taking my spot. That's normally my job.
I know. Usually you get here a little bit late. But yeah, this right here is just absolutely ridiculous. Let's see. Raw Detroit says 5 seasons, 100% plus tackles for Joe Sherbert.
It's great. He didn't grade higher than 60 in anything last year. His run defense was sub 50. His coverage was decent. Only 39.
Is he going to tackle more than Davis, though? Will he make more tackles than the flying missile known as
He had
Rod
a lot.
Davis?
He had over 100.
But on the other hand, how many coverage linebackers do we really have? Just Alex Anzalone, potentially Malcolm?
Well, 57 targets, 39 receptions. That's not bad. It's not too bad.
Fair.
Shout out to
Compared
my man
to anything
JGB.
we've got.
He says, I'm running this thing from the beginning, right? He says, hope all is well with the One Pride and Don't Ride family. Hey, all is well over here, sir. Thank you for showing the love and support as always. Now, let me get over to you, Anthony, because I know you finna jump in on this. What do you make of them doing this approach? Everybody minus Jared Goff is the starters. Because I had an interesting take to it. Maybe it's not the most interesting, but I think that there's a strategic reason why they're doing it this way.
I think you have to earn your right to not play in preseason. People say you keep your starters out, you don't want to get them hurt, etc. Well, Lions history tells you they get hurt anyhow. Training, regular season games, preseasons. Doesn't matter when they get hurt, they get hurt. We are going up against the Philadelphia Eagles, who have one of the best offensive lines in football. They have got a fearsome defensive line. They are going to kick our ass on the trenches just as hard as we're going to kick them. Do I want Aiden Hutchinson going up against their O-line guys with one drive in preseason under his belt? You're damn right I do not. I want a full half out of these. There are positions on this team where there is not a guaranteed starter. I want guys out on that field demanding and playing like they want that position. They have to earn the right to have that. Everybody does. Outside of maybe Ragnow and Decker and guys like that, no one has earned the right to sit down and do nothing in this preseason. I want to see them out there, full intensity, kicking Pittsburgh down, like they did with the Colts. They really did well against the Colts. Players came to the fore. They were fighting for roster spots. They were looking good. I want to see my starters do that, because if we roll in against the Philly game and they are not prepared, because Dan Campbell himself has said the best way to prepare yourself, the best way to deal against injuries is by to take these hits. Get your body prepared. Yep. Get your body ready in a real game situation. You want your starters out there for a full half, taking these hits, getting themselves ready. Because if we are not ready, then the Philadelphia Eagles are going to run all over us. And I do not want to see that. I want to see this team fully fighting fit going into this season. That's why every sport, soccer over here, we have a preseason where the guys get in shape, get ready. So that first game, they are in top physical condition, ready to go. And they're primed. Yes, you may get injuries, but I don't care. All those players who are out there are ready. So I fully agree with putting them out there for the half. They've got to go out there and earn it and play hard so that they're ready for the Eagles.
I think that the reason they are doing this approach is because they are not quite sold on which one of the quarterbacks is about to get the X. And they want to give them a chance to play with the starters to see who's about to get the X. I would not be surprised that the player who performs bad with the starters between Boyle and Blau get the X. Don't be shocked that this is the deciding factor. The other thing I think that they're trying to do is they're trying to keep certain starters in rhythm going into the season. So I expect to see those things early in how they do it, because I think they're gonna throw the ball a lot often early. Now, Super Saiyan says I think they both will stay. I don't think they're keeping two quarterbacks. I think them days is over. So could be wrong, but I think them days is over. It says I think Dan trying to see how David and Tim. Yep, that's what I think.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think. Shout out to Hollywood Boner. First of all, what an awesome photo. I mean, to have a name like Hollywood Boner and then got a picture of you in dad mode with the kids all around you. I mean, but this is awesome. I love when I see the family photos and people's stuff. Forbidden Knowledge says defend the den, 100%, 1,000%, 10 and 11, win, stamp it. He's saying we get between 10 and 11 wins. I don't see why we can't. If we ever have to play Tim Boyle in the regular season, we are screwed. Yeah, don't even remind us. Yeah. You're hitting on all type of triggers. Joe Lewis says, I believe Goff not playing because they don't believe in the backup quarterback. That's my view.
Yeah,
that's how
of course.
I mean, the only reason why Blau even stayed was because Tim Boyle got hurt early on in the preseason last year.
Well, we're going to see how everything plays itself out. Now, we've been on for an hour and a half, and it says Bonner, not Boner, Luke. Well, I told you I can't pronounce people's goddamn names. Damn it. Y'all keep helping me. Keep fixing it, all right? Keep helping
Levi Onwuzurike.
Nope. Not going to get me like that.
Levi Onwuzurike. Say it with me. Come on now. Everybody. 1, 2, 3.
Amani. If you ever notice, I never say Amani's last name.
Owarie.
That's what I said. Owarie.
Yeah, you break it down. O-War-E-A. Like EA Sports.
Oh, okay. All right. Cool.
Ifatu Melifonwu.
Nope, not going to play that game. And the other one, Big B.
Come on, Igubukwe.
Yeah, see? I'm not going to do it.
Iguabuke.
Nope.
Iguabuke.
No, too many letters, and I'm not going to play no games with nobody names like that. I'm sorry. He said, keep it PG, Luke. I'm sorry.
Get 100 likes in this video.
We've been on for an hour and a half. Okay. And, I want to get to those final thoughts and try to do it. My goal is, if I can't do it every day live, at least do pre-recorded videos for the days I can't go live, and then the days I can go live, maybe like Tuesdays and Thursdays or something. I had to figure out something because the schedule is crazy. Like I said, working and doing all this stuff is a lot. And so yeah, if I find a good cause, then something I'll figure out some things and make it happen. But I ain't got there yet, so I'm figuring stuff out. But starting off with you, Mr. Crimson Shadow, the man who's teaching us these lessons that you can always bounce back as long as you got the fight in you. Okay. Please give people your final thoughts.
Well, my final thoughts is I hope this is going to be a fun season. Remember, if we lose this game, it's just preseason. Nothing matters until week 1. And by all means, hey, keep fighting out there. And maybe one day you'll get curly hair just like me after chemo. What's my weight loss plan? Chemo.
I ain't mad at you. My man Gunner, give the people your final thoughts. Well, you know what? Hold on really quick. Let me go back. It says reminded me of the old DSA roundtable. Then you need to get on here. I know all of us is working and busy, and you being the ultimate dad is busy. But shout out to my man Curt Steele, who came in the building and said yo and gave some love and support. And again, I just leave it open, man. I let everybody come in. You can agree to disagree with me and speak your truth, and then hop out. You can come in and be like, "Fuck you, Luke," and get out. I'll be like, "All right, got it." I get it. But yeah, give me your final thoughts, Gunner.
Man, I'm just excited for Hard Knocks tonight. We all got something to look forward to watching in a couple hours, so yeah, I'm pretty hyped for that.
And your final thoughts, John?
Final thoughts. Kind of go the route of Luke's intro. If you're struggling, hold on. It gets better. You know, it does. There's people out there that talk. I always try and tell people, you know, your life is one great big book, and what you might think is a long chapter is only a sentence. Get through that sentence. Talk to someone. On another note, you know, if you got someone you're having beef with, you know, maybe someone you haven't agreed with in a while, hit them up. Tell them you love them, because life is short. You know, I just went to a memorial for a friend who died 6 weeks ago. It sucks. And to everyone that we've lost, I'm not going to put names out there. You're thinking of them. We miss y'all. But tell them you love them. Go have a conversation, because you never know when their time's up. You never know when your time's up. And to everyone who's struggling, keep your heads up. You know, whether it's depression, whether it's cancer. #Warrior Strong. Keep kicking ass.
Yes, sir. I mean, I love the positivity, because you know I got to end the show on a positive note. My man Anthony, give the people the final thought of the day. And first of all, let me get this quick shout out. One Funky Lion Fed says, casual GM podcast in a half an hour. So yeah, please go over there and check out my man Drew and Mike as they do the casual GM. They're going to give you a whole lot of information and rundown. So make sure you show some love over there. And Anthony, give them your final thought. And if they don't know who you are by now, shame on them. Let a centipede run across their face.
No, it's very hard to kind of go after that. I know. I'll just say enjoy the week coming up. Enjoy Hard Knocks this evening. College football is back this week, so if you're a fan of that, enjoy that. I know I am. I'm going to be up every day watching it. I absolutely love it. So I'm just really grateful to have football season back. So we've got lots more to talk about now, because this off season was long. So have a fun week. Enjoy yourselves, and you know, let's get ready. You know, this 53-man roster is coming next week. Let's get behind it, whoever makes it in there, and, you know, let's enjoy this season. I have a feeling it's going to be a good one.
Support that. Also, you know, I want to say shout out to everybody who came in the chat, rock with me. Hopefully they hit the thumbs up button. But I am going to be bringing back the Pick'em League again. So if you were already in the previous Pick'em League, check your emails, because all I have to do is simply send reopen, and you will get a new email to join. If you have not joined, I will have the list pointed out. And I think what I'm going to do is, for my first week of picks, I'm going to make it hard on myself. I'll show you who I'm picking for my first week of picks. And I think I'll give me some winners in this, and y'all can judge me afterwards. Now, y'all know me. I cannot end the show unless I end it on a positive note. And today's positive quote comes from the internet, because I don't know who said this. But it says, acting on your anger makes everything worse. It says, I'm sorry, let me go back. Let me repeat this. Acting on your anger makes everything worse than just feeling your anger. I find this one to be right on time for me, because I've had some things happen recently where I was getting ready to act on my anger. I was getting ready to be in a point where it was going to be an emotional decision. But when I started to live in my feelings, I made a logical, sound decision to be better. Some of us are making moves today in an illogical way because we're worried about our feelings. Our feelings are getting hurt, and we don't know how to accept an apology when somebody is willing to admit they're wrong. Our feelings are getting hurt when we don't know how to tell somebody that we wronged them. Our feelings are getting hurt when we try to understand that the world isn't going to always be perfect and that many things are happening because we don't quite understand why they're happening, but they are happening for the purpose of you to get a lesson. We just seem to be in our feelings. I think if we took time to act on logic versus feelings, we will find that we have a clearer path to freedom. We will find that we have a clearer path to being open-minded and to being happier. I think too often we get caught up in our feelings, and that's where a lot of these crazy things get shown on the news. Don't get caught up in your feelings. Don't let the anger become your captain and guide you in a direction that you don't need to be in. Put yourself in a position to succeed and succeed at it at the most high, powerful way you can. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, please hit that like, subscribe, notification bell. And as always, I'll be trying to be back at it again with another, and I do mean another, live video. And as always, don't be no chump. Please do your research. We're out.